Hi everybody, it's Joey from thephysicaleducator.com, and today I've got an awesome invasion game for you called End Zones. So we're going to start this game off with some group juggling. So for this build, the teacher will divide the class into two smaller groups. Each group will be assigned to their own half of the playing area and will be asked to get into a circle formation. Once the groups have formed their circles, the teacher will give each group a ball. The group's first task is simple. Create a pattern by passing the ball around so that every member of the group gets to receive a pass before any member receives the ball twice. Depending on the size of the groups, the teacher could also add a stipulation that players may not pass to their immediate neighbors. Once a group has successfully created their pattern, they then call for the teacher's attention. After observing the group's passing pattern, the teacher will then invite the group to continuously repeat the pattern over and over. So when the ball gets back to the initial passer, they just keep the pattern going. As the groups maintain their passing patterns in this continuous kind of way, the teacher will add more balls to each group's pattern. The group's task is now to see how many balls they can keep moving in their pattern without dropping any of them. In between builds, the teacher can bring the groups in to discuss what makes for a high quality pass and how to show your teammates that you're ready to receive a pass. In build 2, both groups will go back down to a single ball that they need to pass in the pattern that they created in the previous build. However, now when a player passes the ball, that player must then move to an open space on their half of the playing area. This means that groups will no longer be maintaining the circle formations that they held in build 1. That said, a player in possession of the ball may only pivot and cannot run around with it. As players pass and move, they count out loud how many completed passes they have successfully made. Should the ball be dropped at any point, that group simply restarts from where they left off in their pattern, but bring their pass count back down to 0. After each group has found their passing rhythm, the teacher can then modify the activity by no longer restricting that the groups remain in their half of the playing area. That means that groups are now playing in a shared space, but they may not interfere with the other group's passing. In between builds, the teacher can lead a discussion on how the added movement of build 2 impacts the way students pass and receive the ball. The class can also discuss how they successfully identified and moved to open spaces. Okay, so now we're ready for a competitive build. In build 3, only one ball will be in the game. One group will start on offense and will begin the round while in possession of the ball. The other group will start on defense. The offensive team's goal is to score a point by successfully completing 5 passes between a minimum of 3 players. If they successfully do so, they earn a point and give the ball to the other team, who then starts their offensive rush from where they gain possession. If the offensive team drops the ball or catches the ball outside of the boundaries of the game, possession of the ball then goes to the opposing team. The defensive team's goal is to prevent the offensive team from scoring by blocking or intercepting a pass. Defensive players may guard offensive players by using warm defense, which means that they must play an arm's distance away from the player they are guarding, they may not rip the ball away from the person they are guarding, and they may not make any form of physical contact with their opponents. Play goes on for a set amount of time or until a group reaches a predetermined score. In between rounds, the teacher can lead a discussion on tactics that can help create space for offensive players and how to make the most use of the playing area's dimensions. In build 4, we're ready to play end zones. The teacher will create 2 end zones at either end of the playing area. The goal is now to score points by successfully passing the ball to a teammate in your offensive end zone. Now here's my favorite part of this game. I like to apply NBA Jam rules to this build.
Boom shakalaka!
NBA Jam rules are a fun way to encourage teams to get more players involved by rewarding them for passing the ball. Here's how it works. When a team successfully completes one pass, instead of calling 1, they call count it. If they complete a second pass, they call heating up. If they complete a third pass, they call on fire. And finally, if they complete a fourth pass, they call boom shakalaka. When the offensive team completes a pass to a teammate in the end zone that they are attacking, they earn points based on the progression that they've made along the NBA Jam scale. So if they got to count it, they earn 1 point. If they got to heating up, they earn 2 points for that pass. If they got to on fire, they earn 3 points for that pass. And finally, if they got all the way up to boom shakalaka, they earn 4 points for their pass. Now here's the catch. Teams may only move along this progression if they pass the ball to a player who had not yet received the ball in that offensive possession. This way, teams gain an advantage by getting as many teammates involved as possible. This doesn't mean that a player who had already received the ball in that possession cannot receive it again. It just means that they wouldn't move up to the next level on the NBA Jam scale. So for example, a team could call count it, heating up, on fire, and then boom shakalaka. When a team successfully scores points, they give the ball back to their opponents. Play is restarted at center court with the offensive team beginning with a backward pass that does not contribute to their NBA Jam scale progress. So that's End Zones, a fun invasion game that we've broken down into 4 awesome builds. If you'd like to learn more about this game, be sure to check out the game page on thephysicaleducator.com. Once again, my name is Joey Fight. Thank you so much for watching, liking, and subscribing, and happy teaching.